Food evolution. In 2005, the New York Times published an article by the New England Journal of Medicine reporting that for the first time in 2 centuries, the current generation, my son's generation of children in America, may have shorter life expectancies than their parents. Type 2 diabetes, heart disease, kidney failure, and cancer are likely to strike people at younger and younger ages. We have a big problem. Bigger than models and smoke and mirrors, bigger than our appetites for self destruction. And now we are making our children pregnant with our problem. And just like every other draft, war, or conflict, the front line is college. College. I will homeschool if that is the only way for my child to get home cooked. The institution has an either or. Either feed me like I have a future, feed me like I am a living, breathing organism, feed me like I have a future to live for, feed me like an individual, or feed me like an army. And I will disenroll. I will unenlist myself from your international trade war, divest myself from your corporate manorialism, conscientiously object to the Angus beef charting of my stomach like a colonial map of Africa, expatriate myself from this extortion of calories, cancer, and cash under the guise of education. We are a classroom of zombies, gut growled down to a low moan, till we are chain ganged to our next fix of sugar and saturated fat, a substance that passes for food that arrives in our hand jet lagged and canned at $4.7 billion a year. Our universities can do better than that. We can get real. By stop putting food in trucks and cars like they can drive, by putting seeds in the communities we reside, reduce our carbon footprint by leaving footprints in garden aisles, put stuff that's in season in shelves at the new neighborhood market you can walk to now. We can get real about fast food being cheaper than whole food, yet tuition is always on the rise. Even the fishermen are at the end of their line. Catch of the day is a bucket of crude and a bluefin tuna that's dying, yet our health is always on the decline, while cows are getting brotheled. Death is always on the recline. While this little piggy gets a blanket before it is slaughtered and sent to the market, we are always on the flat line as we industrialize the miracle of life and we overpen each egg-laying hen after we burn the beak off it. And bottom line is, we can get real about bottom lines, because flaming hot Cheetos don't grow on trees. Since everything seems to be made out of corn and soy, we ought to subsidize a trip every now and then to a field. We can green every meal to the tune of $1 billion. By 2020, we want 20% of America's college diet to put some of that fat cash in local pockets. We put our economy where our mouth is. Eat fair trade by fair paid farmers who aren't forced to harvest what will harm their offspring. Eat food that had heart and not heart disease. Food with culture, not heartless double arches. Food from around the globe, and I'm not talking about BKFC or Arby's. Food that reminds us where we come from and not corporate profit. We survived just fine before drive-thrus and Starbucks. Back when cooking was a celebration, not a waste of time, and the kitchen meant community and potlucks. Now it seems like the only thing we are teaching our children is to forget about us. And if we want to get real, we're paying an arm and a leg to send them away for an education that should be worth more than a drumstick and a wing. Surrender their nutritional needs to the lowest bidder. Stump their options for optimal living so they never grow up. Will they ever forgive us? This is the movement we've been hungry for. Every revolution began with guts at the lunch counter or college cafeteria, as students are always at the front. We are growing boys and girls and demand a food ecosystem that will help us keep up. Because a change is a-coming, and we are going to need every morsel of strength. So eat up.